If you would just keep quiet for a brief moment, then I could explain to you what needs to be done." That was quite a remarkable statement. A father stood before his daughter and said exactly that, in complete calmness and patience. The situation impressed me. The father did not want to hurt his daughter, he wanted to tell her something important, but for that to happen, one thing had to come first. She had to stop talking and start listening. That came to my mind again when I encountered today's impulse from the prayer book of the Old Testament. There we read, "Be still and know that I am God." What a remarkable sentence. We often think that prayer mainly consists of talking. We tell God what burdens us, what we wish for, what we ask for, and what we are thankful for. And that is good and right, but a true conversation does not consist only of speaking. Someone who talks all the time will never hear what the other person has to say. The same is true in our relationship with God. Perhaps sometimes we first need to become quiet. We need to let our thoughts settle. We need to set aside for a moment the noise of our everyday lives, our worries, and our own ideas, because God has something to say to us. The great men and women of faith in the Bible experienced this again and again. God's voice is often not heard in noise, not in hectic confusion, and not in constant busyness. It is perceived in silence. Perhaps this is one of the greatest challenges of our time. We are constantly surrounded by sounds, messages, images, and words. Hardly a moment remains truly silent. And that is why this sentence from the psalm is perhaps more relevant today than ever. Be still and know that I am God. Faith does not live only from what we say to God. It lives about all from listening to what God wants to say to us. Perhaps the deepest form of prayer does not begin with our words, but with our willingness to be silent. For only a quiet heart can hear the voice of God. And whoever learns to live out of this silence will discover that God gives them the strength, the guidance, and the peace they need for their journey through life.